Wake up to reality. Nothing ever goes as planned in this accursed world. The longer you live, the more you will realize that the only things that truly exist in this reality are merely pain, suffering, and futility.
What's up, YouTube? We're back from, well, we haven't been, too long? It's been a week. Um, I caught up with some anime finally, so I can actually talk some anime with you.
It's all good, man. I got no life, so anime is life for me. I live in the gym and live in the anime land. That's all I do.
It's like balance.
Exactly. Priorities.
Yeah, not for you.
Forget a family.
I guess what anime you want to start with?
Oh man, let's go ahead and kick it off with Bleach. Got my boy in the back, Ichigo today. That's the man of the hour. I think they're gonna be winning some awards this time around. Some anime awards. So that's the buzz on the street. Everybody looking really nice. Anime styling is really nice. They brought back the old school. So none of that 3D modeling crap. That's what I love. I love my old school anime. I don't like that 3D modeling. Never have, never will. So, but to recap, all spoilers ahead. So if you don't want to hear a spoiler, please, let us know if you like a spoiler-free review or if you want to, keep it on the detail because that's what we like to do. Dig in and dig deep on these guys. But the episode is labeled "Everything But Rain." So from the manga, it does differ from the manga. It does. It starts off a little backwards, and I think that's just for storytelling context. In the manga, you could just start slapping a lot of things in together, and then be like, we're gonna explain it in the end. But when you're storytelling in an anime, you want to be cohesive a little bit. But Division 10 Captain Shiba. If you haven't known, that is Ichigo's daddy. He's a big papa. I, for the longest time, did not think he was his dad. I didn't know how. And it was really interesting to. Did they say how he became his dad, right? In this episode? Remember, I'll tell you, man, I read I'm reading the comics, reading the manga, and then watching the show. And I don't know if they got to that part yet.
All it got to the part was his mom and dad meeting pretty much, and her basically telling him that she.
Oh, okay. All right. I won't say nothing. All right. Okay. So you're talking. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's falling back to me. So Aizen, Tozen, they are creating. They actually essentially created the Hollows. The elite Hollows, and the Hollow Blacks. I think that's what they call them, or Hollow Whites. There we go. Hollow Whites. They call them Hollow Whites because of the hollowification mask and everything. So that being said, so Shiba gets the news that, hey, something's going on. And the part that got me, and I'm going to throw this at you, was the rain. He said they got reports of the rain. And remember, and he said two Soul Reapers died. And the report of the rain, it started raining and 2 died. And then he made this instant connection. So, hopefully they elaborate a little more on that. Maybe in the manga or maybe in later on in the storytelling. How did he make those connections? I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, it was they kept throwing it out a lot, for you to kind of get, but there was no meat to it of what it meant.
Yeah,
so I'm hoping next. I mean.
It was just he was what's his name? Oh man, I forgot his name. The little dude. He told him. Let's get his name real quick, so I'll call him little dude.
Toshido.
Yeah, there we go. And he gave him the report. Said, "Hey, I don't even remember, but two Soul Reapers died. It started raining, and 2 Soul Reapers died." In Kurukata Town, and they were like, he like made that connection and was like, oh yeah, I gotta go. And so he splits off into Kurikawa Town. He meets up with those guys, to two Soul Reapers doing a little bit of patrolling, and then that's where it starts off, man. So like action. Once again, we get these action scenes, cuts right into actions. But you know what I think? When Shiva drew his Zanbakuto, and did you see it catch flame?
Yes.
I wonder if he's related to Yamamoto. I wonder if they're like, related in some way.
Yeah, I noticed that because it looked kind of like a Phoenix type of thing when he did it, and I was just like, where have I seen that kind of stuff before? And I mean, in anime lores, they kind of relative wise, like spoiler alert for My Hero fans, but yeah, Dabi is Endeavor's son. Fire. It's like
I don't even. Oh, Dobby. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So I mean, so you kind of see it. I mean, you look at Ichigo and he has two sides. I mean, where does he get his Quincy side? His mother, and so it kind of makes you think a lot when you see that, and you're like, what the?
Well, what I remember them saying is that Yamamoto is the only one that has fire Zanbakuto.
Yeah.
And that being said, Shiba like has a fire type Zanbakuto. So that's why it caught me like kind of like, oh man, I wonder if they're related. If they're gonna be like, oh, they're related. You know what I'm saying? Or some type of way, either that's his uncle or something like that, or man, even go deep down and be like that's his dad and stuff like that. And like they're just like, I'm gonna throw it out there again. I don't know how the structure of Bleach works because I don't want to get into it because it's all this Buddhism stuff. Like, do you die in the real world, go to the second plane where the Serite is, and then you live in the Serite all over again, and you go up there, and then you die there, and then now you're a hollow soul, and you go into the glass jar to be reincarnated. Like, I don't know how that works, So that's kind of weird. But once again, I wonder if they're all related. That would be really cool if they are. That would be like a cool structure because it gives them some. It'll give Ichigo some like what do they call it? Like claim to the throne. Some type of claim to like his power. So that being said, he fights the hollow that Aizen and Tozen are trying to modify and create. So an ultimate enemy, because basically they were on their path to get the Hogyu, which is the basically ultimate key to open up what they said. Aizen wants to replace a god. Aizen wants to be God. He feels that he should be God and rule all over. What do you call it? All over the Soul Reaper. The whole Serite, everything, right? And that's why him whenever the big bad, the Quincy King, and I forgot his name, Yahweh or something like that, or Yahweh. Not Yahweh, that's God. Sorry, something like that, something in that vein. But that's why they said like that's why Aizen didn't join his team, is because he wants to destroy all of it. And Aizen's like, nah, man, I want to rule everything, So it's like, like, nah, I can't get on board with that.
Yeah,
so
surpass that.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
No, he's saying his name was Yawash or Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was like, I don't want to say Yahweh wrong.
Something like that.
I'm saying his name like that. But yeah, man, I'll get the correct pronunciation.
I mean, I'll be butchering these names too,
So. Yeah. Well, they're the German ones, man. Like,
yeah.
I get they have German half biblical names, So that being said, I get kind of tongue tied on him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he goes after there, and then he gets into a fight, which was really cool because they didn't say this last time. They didn't say this at all last season to the whole Bleach order and everything. That damn, they got like those invisible cloaks, man. Like Aizen's been like manipulating things in the background. Like, how do you feel about that, man?
It reminded me of like Harry Potter with the little cloak thing over when I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, but I mean, it kind of makes sense of it's like that missing piece of how everything played up to the part.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you start off on Bleach, you kind of realize that okay, there's somebody, doing stuff behind the scenes, and it's like, how are they doing it with nobody noticing? And so now you see another, I guess, type of a cloak or whatever the robe is, and it kind of explains it because I mean he says it. He's like, I mean, I think he gets slashed in the back while he's fighting, and he's like, okay, there's a Soul Reaper here. That was a blade, and he kind of like it starts to give you the details that I guess you didn't really care about too much in the beginning, but now that you're getting to the end of it, you're like, okay, now it's falling into place of how he was able to manipulate the Soul Reapers in this aspect of it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where I was getting at myself too, coming to that conclusion that definitely when you look back on the Bleach and you're like, man, how did Aizen know these kind of things? Like why was he always one step ahead of everybody, or why did they know things that they shouldn't have known? And well, now they got that Chekhov's gun, they got a cloak, and they literally sitting in the corner while you're talking, and you're not noticing them at all. Because Shiba, he didn't even feel their spiritual pressure until he got hit with the Zanbakuto, and he was like, "Oh man, I got hit with the Zanbakuto," and he was like, "That's not a regular blade, that's a Zanbakuto that struck me." So that's where we go with that. So he attempts to take out the White Hollow. The White Hollow takes him down, took off one of his arms, and was like, "Hey, gotcha, sucker." And then he was like, damn, man, now he's fighting with one arm too. Like, man ain't stopping. So it's kind of like the signal, like I guess foreshadowing, because I think it's like Ichigo's gonna run ragged. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's basically what he does when he turns into his holification, when he goes dark, that he turns into that white hollow, and so it's going to be like a little foreshadowing that he's able to just run crazy, chop the arm off, chop a leg off or something like that, and it's going to still go forward. They're not going to introduce something like that without having a payoff in the end. So that being said, then he hits the floor, gets on the floor, and then there comes Masaki, a young, vibrant, nothing the way we've been shown his mother to look like. Like nothing that I ever suspected his mom to ever look like. Like, did you look like, oh yeah, that's his mom? Yeah, like they portrayed her in the anime that way,
When I saw her at first, I had to double take, and I'm like,
"Are we talking about the same person?"
I was like, "Is this who's this?" And I was like, "Wait, this is mom?" Like, and then I had to like start paying attention a bit more. I was like, "Man."
So his mom, he has twin sisters, right? One that looks like Ichigo, and the other one now we know looks like the mom, with a little doll bow haircut and everything, that looks like the mom when she was younger, So she busts out her Quincy powers and Kwacha, took him out, and then so I'm not gonna get too much in detail because then I'll spoil the next episode. Because one, I read that manga already, and then two, I just discovered, and I showed Nick. There's a leak out there for the next episode, or like next little arc that they're having. So it's really crazy. But yeah, so she saves Sheba, and then Sheba saves her. He in turn saves her, and they basically say, "You saved, we saved each other, love at first sight." And I'm gonna be yours for the rest of your life. So that's it. Ends on a nice, heartwarming moment, and but next one is gonna be kind of crushing. It's gonna be kind of like, oh dang, man, you're gonna make me like, oh damn.
It was interesting how she let it bite her, and then she was just so like, "All right, got you," and
Right.
just,
Well, it was careless to be
yeah.
100%. That is so super careless
Well,
because
everybody was like, "What is she doing? Like, why would you do
yeah,
it?"
yeah, exactly. It's like what? Like you wouldn't do it like that,
Yeah,
Uh, so then we find out a little more about the relationship between her and the Quincy's, like the it's called the Ishin. The Ishin is the family that took her in. Ishin.
yeah,
So she's not Kurosaki. So she's not Kurosaki because Shiba. I don't think he took her Shiba's last name. I think he took his mom's last name, Ichigo's mom's
yeah.
last name, Kurosaki. So that being said, that's where we're gonna find a little bit more about their relationship and everything, what's happening, and then you're gonna see some stuff in this that is gonna be interesting next week to talk about. And then finally we get episode 13, our hour-long special to end the damn first arc, and we gotta wait till like goddamn near August. What did I say last time? August, June, July, or something like that. Sometime in the summer.
A long wait.
The next one, yeah, it's horrible long wait. Throwing it out there. Blu-ray, DVD. They're gonna be shooting it out. Volume 1, 2-disc episodes, 1 through 13, April the 26th, 2013. 2023, sorry. They're going to put it out on DVD. So, yeah.
Ooh, I have to find it because I don't have my PS4 anymore.
Yeah, man, I'm looking at it right now. And I don't see it. I think that is the next episode. I think that is either going to be the hour-long arc, the one the link I sent you, or that's like something in the future, man.
Yeah. Ooh, like those. Gives me something. As long as they don't go on like a hiatus for like 2 years.
I know, right?
It's like,
hey,
rewatch it's only
Fire Force, bro.
Yeah,
Fire Force, man. Can I say less? Fire Force, man.
I watched it
4 years.
I was like, oh man, this thing ain't coming out anytime soon.
You're gonna tease us like that with some badass My Hero Academia / Full Metal Alchemist / spellbinding episodes, man. Goblin. Shoot. Well, that's my take on Bleach. That's my good one. Chainsaw Man, episode 11. Mission starts. Nick, you want to kick us off on Chainsaw Man?
Yeah. I mean, we kind of look at it. Starts with the future devil. I think that was his name, right? Future devil, or yeah. I mean, yeah. He kind of. You look at him, and he kind of looks like he's kind of evil, creepy, but then he kind of.
I saw him as a Wendigo.
Yeah, I can see that.
Straight up Wendigo. Yeah, I was like, that's a North Wendigo, man.
Yeah, that. I was looking, I was like, oh, okay. And I mean, it's funny because my favorite part is we heard on the last episode where they're talking about the contracts and what it takes to, and when he looks at him, what's his name? Oh my gosh, I forgot it. Aki, yeah. When he looks at Aki and he's just like, oh, all I want is, I believe his right eye. Yeah, he's like, I just want your right eye. He goes, because I looked into the future and I seen your death, and it's a beautiful thing if you want to know. And he's like, I don't really care about it. And Aki pretty much, his whole story is he just wants to get revenge on the gun devil. And it's funny because it's like I mean, they set you up like if he was just gonna take so much of his of him, and he's like, nah, just give me your eyeball. Like, I'm good. Like, you're gonna die anyway, bro. You got so much against you, from the cursed sword to what you've done already to your body.
He's
It's
like, you need all your body parts, man.
yeah,
Like, let me just take your right eye to watch out for you.
yeah. And then it kind of goes into like talking the whole episode, where it was Kishibe or what's his name? Yeah, he's talking to Denji and Power, and basically like, y'all haven't been really doing well in training, but we got a mission anyway. And so you kind of are like, okay, here we go again. Here's more talking. And then the Division 4, I believe that's what they are. So they're the division of, people that are not human per se.
Well, they're division with humans with double contracts.
Yeah.
Is what they are. Because remember, Denji took a double contract with Poncha.
Yeah.
And Power, we don't really know yet.
She's like
how she got her power,
yeah.
Yeah. And then they introduced a couple of new characters, which is kind of weird because they didn't really like set any of these guys up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just like threw us at us, man. They're like, hey, here's some new guys. And I'm like, what the? I thought they were bad guys at first.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah, man, there's more bad guys.
Because they're talking about the zombies in the basement and that they're going to attack them. And then you hear him, Toshiba, talking to the police like, y'all are here just to make sure none of these people leave. And I'm like, all right, I guess, they don't trust Denji and Power. And then you see some dude as a shark thing flowing through the wall. And then you see the chick that turns into like a spider looking demon.
Right.
And then there was the one with the mask. Kind of has like the mask from like the Black Plague Century and
The plague, it's called plague mask. Yeah,
the plague mask. Yeah, and then they had the angel looking thing. I guess demon or angel, where they were talking about how if he touches them, then your life. I think your life goes away, or you lose life.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Aki was just right there, and they're like, "Oh, why are you so close to me?" He's like, "I don't really care." Like, he just doesn't care anymore, like, about his lifespan or anything. He's like, "Dude, I got 2 years left." Like,
right. Well, I don't know because she said you can't summon the ghost. You can't summon the dog demon anymore. Remember they were in the car,
yeah,
and they were driving. And she goes, you can't summon the dog demon anymore, the hound demon anymore. Yeah. She's like, she left you. She's mad at you, right? I think it's the same thing like with the sword, because his sword, I think it's the same thing. I think it's like the sword's gonna leave him, therefore, like the sword like left the contract, so therefore, I think it's gonna restore his life, his life points,
Which it's interesting because we've heard that when he uses the sword, his life expectancy goes down. And so the future, devil said, hey, you got about 2 years left and I want to see you die. And then you see in this episode, he's using the sword like nothing, just swinging it around. Just
right. Yeah. That's what I said. I don't know, man. I think the rules are kind of wonky for what's going on,
Yeah. And then
so it's called Shark Friend, Violence Friend, Spider Devil, and Angel Devil are their names.
Okay.
That we know so far.
Yeah, that we know
that they introduced. I'm pretty sure they have real names, other names.
Yeah. I mean, going through, I hit a rabbit hole stuff I don't want to see. Hey.
Hey, now keep that on a separate phone, man.
Nah, it was I was on
Turn
the
your other
fandom.
incognito tab out, bro.
Nah, I was on the fandom part. It was saying something about Four Horsemen. I was like, nope, I ain't looking at that.
Yeah, that's later on. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's later on.
I mean, it's all in all, it's hard to, I guess, come from where that last episode was of all the action and that. But I mean,
Well, I think it ended with pretty good action, man.
yeah,
I mean, they were slicing and dicing them zombies, and
yeah,
then he gets up to that girl. Oh man, I forgot that girl's name. Sawatari.
yeah,
And she basically brings that his old friend's ghost demon devil out, you know,
yeah,
pulls it out of her rabbit hat, man.
yeah. I saw it and I was like, what? I've seen this before. Hey.
Mhm.
And so I wonder, like with hers. I mean, I haven't read the manga too much because I don't want to advance too far. I probably will once it ends, sadly. But yeah, wondering what her full power is because even when Makima was talking to the Yakuza, trying to find out who has contracts with the Gun Devil, and you could kind of tell like they were talking about her, like we don't work with them, and so I mean their main subject is her and the Katana Devil, for I guess working for the Gun Devil or and so
Well, what's his name? Kishibe
yeah,
made a very good point, saying that. Well, obviously, whenever everything went down and Special Division 13 was getting shot down, right?
yeah,
Um, it made a very good point. There is an insider. Somebody gave him all the name. Somebody gave him their location. It wasn't like publicly known,
yeah,
and he sort of accused her of doing it. Remember, like at the very end. I forgot exactly what Kishibe said to her, but he was like, "Hey, you went to see corporate. Corporate like basically told you, you know, do your work, but we're not really behind you. Then your whole team dies, and now you're getting all these special privileges. Like, something's not right, man." So he definitely something was something is going on with her. She's doing something. So
yeah. I mean, you could tell because when he was asking her like be honest with me, and she was lying. He's like, you're lying to me, and she just smiles. But I mean, you at some point in the anime you feel like she's been pulling the strings, of course, for maybe her own thing or how she feels, because she's always been that way where she's like, I'm gonna do how I feel it needs to be done and I don't care what anybody says. And so she's using pretty much I mean Dingy to do a lot of her work, but he's in love with her anyway, so it doesn't really matter on what.
yeah, but I mean, like honestly, what has he done?
Yeah,
Unless like he's running Black Ops for her in the background, and we're not really like they're not telling us. You
yeah,
know, I mean, but other than that, like he hasn't really done anything.
yeah,
Like he took on the hotel one.
yeah,
The ghost in the hotel or the devil in the hotel. He took on that one. I think he took on like one other devil. Like the bat and
yeah,
the
and
centipede one or whatever hell she was.
the match wife or whatever.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
them two. Other than that, like he hasn't really done anything that's been like, story driven, noteworthy, and all that. So
Yeah, and it's in. I think like for sure she has to know like what he is and why they want him, because you find out like that they're actually. I mean, the Gun Devil's looking for him. He wants his heart, which is pretty much his devils, and it. I mean, that's you. The way she is in the anime, like she knows. She has to know what's going on and why she's playing a chess match, trying to figure out the next steps. Because I mean, they tell her like, you know, you knew and you sacrificed people, and she just smiled. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really care. Like,
right,
I did what I had to do.
Oh, what did he say? Like the God Devil wanted Denji for what? His heart?
Well, they wanted his. They kept talking, like the other one in the hotel was talking about they wanted his heart, and then they were talking about the I think Katana Devil or
Katana Man.
Yeah, they were saying they were talking about like how they wanted to capture him and everything. So I don't know if it's Ponchi that they want. If it's, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's gonna relate back to his devil and that's inside of him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. I'm trying. I'm like not reading the manga so that I don't spoil it for myself, because I truly just want to watch it and see how it goes. You know.
Yeah. And that's where I get to with mangas. I'm like, I want to know, but I want to watch it, man.
So, man, what do you think so far of Chainsaw Man?
I like it. When I first saw, like, people told me to watch it, the first episode, I was like, yeah, I'll check it out. But I can honestly say it's one that I'm anticipating for it to hurry up and come back out now. Nice. It has everything that I like in an anime: the comedy, the adult humor, the gore, the fighting, a storytelling that makes sense per se. It's not just like, there's some animes I watch and it's just straight like fighting, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what the story is like. And so, I mean, I like it. I enjoy it.
Ah, okay, great, man. Yeah, Chainsaw Man is pretty good, man. It's interesting. It's I like it because it does give you a little context, but it gives you action too. So they know their audience, you know.
Yeah,
they're gonna want to throw all the action in there. Even though last episode didn't really have too much action, but it still had that little training montage in there, so we saw little funnies, you know. So I like it. It was good. But yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see what episode 12 brings to the table. Hopefully, we get a little bit of resolution. So it left on a cliffhanger. They had Aki by the throat and was choking the life out of him. But we already know he dies in 2 years, so it's kind of like, you know, like, this ain't 2 years later, bro. So we'll see what's up. But all right, man. Well, that was the anime for the 2 animes that we've been reviewing for the past couple of weeks.
All right, guys, if you made it to this point, make sure you like, subscribe. We're going to be giving you more anime content, especially with Bleach going to an end and Chainsaw Man coming to an end. Make sure you check out this channel. We're going to be giving you a lot more anime stuff now that the holidays are ending. Much love. Later. How much I'm working for this? I swear my dreams are too important.